And then while I was on YouTube one day and Facebook stalking people pretty much, I actually ran into Logan. One of my mutual friends, Weston Littlefield, liked one of Logan's videos. It was crazy because Logan actually lived right down the street from my brother. Then what happened is I got connected with Logan at a stoplight. I said, yo, you're Logan Shippy. I've seen what you've been able to do. I have been wanting to learn what you do. I've seen that you're traveling all around, speaking to people, helping people. Like I want in on what you do. Logan and I got connected later that night. I got started with wealth generators, and what happened then was in the next 2 years I learned about the psychology of how social media works, the psychology about what how sales works, the psychology of being able to help people. And not only that, what I realized was that there was a big problem in the world. The biggest problem was that so many people don't have a financial blueprint. And so working directly with Logan and with wealth generators, I was able to go ahead and figure out a financial plan for myself, and I've been able to go ahead and quit both my jobs, been able to travel all around Colombia, Costa Rica, the US, Canada, Mexico, to so many different countries that I would have never been able to travel to if it wasn't for wealth generators, right?
There's A people, there's B people, and there's C people. There's the A people where it's like, yo, dude, give me an application. I'm ready. I saw it. I'm sick of my financial situation. I'm f***ing ready, okay? Then there's B people. It's like, yo, this sounds great, but this, but that. And to be honest, I was kind of a B person because I always think from the devil's advocate side, like, well, why is this guy telling me this? Does he want to make money off me or this, that? You know, like I was a B person. It sounded great, but I had questions. And once I got my questions answered, it was game time. The C people, you know, it's like, look, they're going to complain. They're the type of people that always make excuses. They make a lot more excuses than they make money. And that's, you either fall into one of those three categories in life. The great thing about Forex, the foreign exchange market, is you can actually get started trading with as little as like 250 bucks. So it's not some huge investment. If you look at any other business in the world, you're going to need probably around $10,000 to get started, right? To open up a business, get incorporated, different things like that. Here, you can turn your bank account into a business, your dollars into employees that go work for you for a couple $100. And it's not like you're going to get wealthy overnight, but just to do the numbers for you, let's say that we were to do $1,000. Let's say you put $1,000 into a trading account, and you were to compound that at 70% per year for the course of 10 years. That $1,000 turns into hundreds of thousands of dollars just because you let it sit and you let it grow. It's not going to happen overnight, but it's going to happen over time. It's better to get rich slow than never get rich at all. That's my philosophy on investing. So to get started, yeah, you're going to get started with whatever is feasible to you, whatever you can make happen. But the great thing is the barrier of entry is extremely low. And the way to get ahead in life is to get started. So let's say that you get started with a couple $100. Great, that's awesome. And if you want to add more money each and every month, that's cool. If you want to go share this with people and get your subscription for free, you're literally making free money off of your money. So a hedge fund is basically a giant pool of money where accredited investors throw hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars. Usually the barrier of entry to a hedge fund is extremely high. And most people will never get access to a hedge fund because it's hush-hush and it's private invite only. You need to be an accredited investor, which means you need to have an annual income of at least a couple $100,000 a year. You need to have a net worth of $1 million, and you need to be an accredited investor. So that leaves people like us who are just getting started in the world. We're never going to have access to something like that. And if you look at hedge funds, the top hedge funds out there that are on Bloomberg are doing about 48% a year on people's money. If you look at our returns, we're dominating the top hedge funds out there in the world, and we're charging $150 a month. And if you go recruit a couple members, you can get it for free. So that is literally free money on my money. There is no other institution, financial vehicle, anything out there that I know of or I've ever seen or that I've asked anyone if they know of that is doing what we're doing. So think about Uber. What Uber did to the transportation world is what we're doing to the investment world. The taxi industry was done a certain way for a very long time. Makes sense to you guys? Like you had to pay overpriced for taxis. Uber, with technology, allowed the average person to turn their car into a business. So what we're doing is instead of you just handing your money to the bank and the bank making a lot of money off of your money, why not you become the bank? instead of, you know, the bank having a group of traders that work for them, why don't you have a group of traders in technology work for you? Yeah, you might have to pay a little bit of money for this, but this is a business. And if you treat it like a business and then you get it for free and then you make money off of it, now you're playing smart and you're being the bank.